USA Today did a poll, and they found that Jollibee is voted the best fried chicken in the whole country.
A Filipino fast food chain called Jollibee is expanding in the U.S., and today it opened its first location here in Orlando.
Another Jollibee coming to the East Bay, and the wait is almost over.
Fast food chain Jollibee set to open an outpost in Times Square this morning. The word is out.
Vancouver is getting its first ever Jollibee.
Fast food giant Jollibee wins Londoners over.
Jollibee is one of the largest fast food companies in the world, with over 1,700 stores worldwide and revenues north of $4.6 billion in 2024. What if I told you that Jollibee wasn't born from a boredom strategy, but from the gut instinct of a young man selling ice cream? This is the story of Jollibee, one of the most beloved fast food empires in the world, and the man behind its rise, Tony Tan Caktiong. But this isn't just a rags to riches tale. No, this is a battle of grit, risk, and even a David versus Goliath showdown with the king of fast food itself. Our story begins shortly after World War II in the city of Manila in the Philippines. Tony Tan Caktiong was born in 1953 to a Chinese-Filipino family who had moved from Fujian, China in order to escape the poor post-war conditions back home. His parents weren't wealthy, but they had something more valuable, an unshakable work ethic. They ran a small restaurant, where young Tony watched and learned the business from the ground up. Tony saw the struggle. He saw the long hours, the hard work. Yet, he also saw the power of food. It brought people together, gave them comfort, and most importantly, created opportunities. But little did he know that his own journey would take him from behind his family's counter to the battlefield of fast food giants. In 1975, Tony saw an opportunity. Tony had a chance to visit an ice cream parlor production plant owned by Magnolia Dairy, a popular ice cream parlor company in the Philippines. Impressed by what he saw, he decided to use his family savings from the restaurant business to open 2 small ice cream parlors in Quezon City under the Magnolia Dairy franchise. Business was good, but something curious happened. Customers kept asking for more than just ice cream. They wanted hot meals, something warm, something satisfying. Here was the first fork in the road. Play it safe with ice cream, or take a leap of faith into something bigger. Tony took the leap. In 1978, he relaunched his business as Jollibee and added hamburgers, fried chicken, and spaghetti to the menu. Soon, the ice cream was just an afterthought. As customers kept following in, Tony began to open more stores. By 1981, a short 6 years after opening his first ice cream parlor, he had 5 Jollibee stores under his belt. Things were looking up for the fledgling fast food chain. However, an existential threat loomed on the horizon that could determine the life or death of Jollibee. In 1981, McDonald's had officially entered the Philippines. For most businesses, that would have been game over. Even those close to Tony wanted him to sell his business while he was ahead. How could a small Filipino company with only 5 stores take on the giant multinational corporation that practically invented the fast food business? But Tony didn't back down. Tony met with his top managers in order to figure out how they could compete. Jollibee and McDonald's were competing in many of the same food categories, such as hamburgers and soft drinks. Tony and his managers decided to travel to the United States in order to study what made McDonald's so successful and whether or not the fast food giant may have some weaknesses that Jollibee can exploit. Tony studied McDonald's playbook meticulously, poring over every detail of their playbook. Tony and his team concluded that McDonald's was superior to Jollibee in terms of marketing, store design, service time, playgrounds, basically everything you can imagine. However, there was one thing that Jollibee does that the American fast food giant does not. McDonald's was not catering to Filipino tastes. If McDonald's food items suited American preferences, but not necessarily the local Filipinos. The preferred Filipino flavor profiles tended to be more sweet, more spices, and more salty. And here's where Tony's brilliance kicked in. Instead of imitating McDonald's, he did the opposite. He doubled down on Filipino flavors. Sweet style spaghetti, extra crispy chicken with a distinct seasoning, and burgers with a unique Filipino twist. He gave Filipinos fast food that tasted like home. But McDonald's fought back, and they fought back hard. They had the money, the marketing, and the brand power. For a while, Jollibee's future was uncertain. There were supply chain issues, aggressive pricing wars, and skeptics who thought a local brand could never outshine a global icon. And then, Jollibee pulled off the unthinkable. Filipinos embraced their homegrown brand with overwhelming loyalty. By the late 1980s, Jollibee wasn't just surviving, it was thriving and it was winning. It had overtaken McDonald's in market share in the Philippines, proving that cultural connection was more powerful than corporate muscle. Tony didn't just stop after defeating McDonald's in his home market of the Philippines. He expanded aggressively, opening stores across the country and eventually throughout the globe. Jollibee became a global phenomenon, with locations in the US, Canada, Vietnam, the Middle East, and beyond. By 1991, the company opened its 100th store. That number reached 200 in 1996, 400 in 2001, 700 in 2010, and 1,000 in 2015, and finally, over 1,700 stores today. But every great hero's journey has its tests. Jollibee faced multiple challenges: economic downturns, global expansion hurdles, even controversial acquisitions of fast food chains that didn't go as planned. During the pandemic, Jollibee saw one of its worst financial downturns and was forced to close over 300 stores worldwide. Critics whispered that the empire was crumbling. But Tony and his team did what they always did: adapted. They shifted to digital, optimized deliveries, and strengthened their brand identity. And just like before, Jollibee bounced back, stronger than ever. Today, Jollibee isn't just a fast food chain, it's a cultural icon. It represents resilience, innovation, and the power of homegrown talent standing tall against the giants. Jollibee now boasts over 1,700 stores and over 12,000 employees worldwide. The Jollibee Food Corporation, the umbrella company that owns the Jollibee brand, reported over $4.6 billion in revenue in 2024 and further expanded their food and beverage footprint with many large-scale acquisitions over the years, including Michelin-starred dim sum restaurant chain Tim Ho Wan and American coffee chain The Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf. Tony Tan Caktiong's journey is proof that success isn't about avoiding challenges, it's about facing them head-on, finding your unique advantage, and never underestimating the power of staying true to your roots.